We're back. It's a Real American Brian and Johnny and Valdrick are all here. We're going to watch some G.I. Joe cartoons. If you've been watching the Arise, Serpentor Arise, we're on to part 3 now. Part 3 of 5. And we're all rather enjoying it. So
we made Valdrick arise.
Yes.
Indeed. Well, he was here for part 1. So now he's back
for
part
1.
3.
He went away. We put in a little dab of Mick Foley, a little dab of your favorite science teacher, and Baby Bam.
This is the first episode of this series where all 4 of us are here. So that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, for nobody.
Yo, Joe. Talking comics, here's your host. It's A Real American Brian.
Was this really season 2?
This is the beginning of season 2.
Yeah, you forget
the kid. I didn't
even
know
like
they were
100
there were
episodes,
seasons.
I think season 2 was my favorite season.
Season 2 was definitely a lot of the toys I had as a kid.
Yes.
I think I was definitely watching a lot more of this.
There was a point in my toy collecting as a kid that I went from being all into Joe's to all into Cobra. It was almost a clear kind of like switch. And
Your
just like,
alignment
you know what? Bad guys are cooler. I think I'm in. It sold me.
Well, even as a kid, I liked Troops. I was always a Troops guy.
Yep. There's that move, gymnastics.
I was always excited with my Star Wars figures when I'd have like a huge army of stormtroopers or a huge army of the
Yeah. It looks cool.
So here's our recap of the first 2 now. So Mindbender's decided we need a new Cobra leader, and so far they've collected the DNA of several historical figures to build this new figure.
I didn't know Napoleon was so well preserved.
And Cobra Commander decided not to sabotage this whole mission.
Yeah.
You mentioned it, but I don't think it was in the episode where, like, they could have pitched it as we're building a super soldier who would be subordinate to you to trick him.
Not a super leader.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I think in the comics he was being built to be a super soldier, and then just kind of took over because they put so many different leadership qualities in him. But in the cartoon, he was designed to be a leader.
It'd be funny though, because a lot of those leaders would probably disagree on strategy. And
well, this is one reason why you don't let Cobra unionize.
Mm-hmm. You already provide health care and those beautiful recreational facilities.
Yeah.
Nuke the fridge. You mean the guy?
No, it's like the Indiana Jones thing. Nuke the fridge.
Yeah,
they
but no, I thought the fridge was going to be in there.
No, not that fridge. I like
Who would win, Fridge or Slaughter?
Oh, Slaughter.
What if Fridge had his football mace?
How about Fridge versus Big Lob?
Fridge wins that one. Sure.
Yeah.
Is it in this miniseries where we get entered, or was it Sergeant Slaughter's? Is Sergeant Slaughter's introduction before this or after this?
Yeah, he was in. He's been around a little bit now.
I like when he trained the Joes because he was a hard ass.
Future episodes do a March Madness style. Who win?
Mm-hmm.
Joes and Joes. Brackets.
Snowdrop was shooting at the ground.
It's like, I can't fight it unless there's snow.
And we've still got a mess of polar vipers on our hands. Huh? They're surrendering?
No.
My fight will be freed when Cobra.
What is this, France?
Did they make figures of polar vipers?
Yes.
Oh wow.
They came with snowshoes.
Yeah, there were quite a few snow toys, vehicles, and figures.
Yeah.
For those toys. Is he standing up in his Triple T there?
I think so, yeah. I think they knew snow toys would do well. I mean, all like the Hoth stuff from Star Wars.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe that's a good point. Maybe the Hoth stuff inspired him to.
Why is Rock and Roll not fighting? He's at the control
He's a
panel.
computer console.
Like, send him out there. Heavy machine gunner.
Well, you can say the same thing for Roadblock.
Yeah.
We have to keep it back so we can get our rhymes.
You're right. Roadblock, yeah, you could easily been out there.
Hey, there's wetsuit.
Yeah.
So this whole segment here, I like to.
I love
call-
the sexual tension between these two because it comes out often.
Sub toys.
Hey man, it's my Jack Nicholson impression.
This was a great opportunity to get every toy that has anything to do with
Yeah.
water together.
But not Torpedo. Fuck him.
Oh, Torpedo's in here too.
Yeah, Torpedo's awesome. What are you talking about?
But they have another seal because wetsuit's a seal as well.
Classic Polly right there.
There's Torpedo.
Yeah, Torpedo's busy working while everyone else is up there.
Playing bumper boats.
Yeah, talking to the parrot right now.
And that's not what Torpedo's gear looks like.
Hey, let's make Polly say weird stuff.
Uh-oh.
Let's get Polly high and make him say weird stuff.
Hello.
What the?
Ah!
He's right here.
It killed my boner.
Are they fighting in a recreational area with putting civilians at risk?
Yep. It's only people with boats that we don't care, though.
Good thing the eels know how to swim.
Sore subject. I missed that classified eel.
I did too. Yeah, I
So
had it
bad.
in my cart and it just kept failing.
So mad.
You'll get one.
Yeah, for $100 on eBay.
No, I mean I eventually got my Storm Shadow
It-
that was Amazon exclusive.
It'll open up.
So as a kid, wetsuit was definitely my water Joe.
Yeah, because he had the
I
little
never-
cool stuff. He had the little, well, he had the thing that propelled him around. And
Yeah.
What's funny is when I was getting more into Cobra, I was also more into water, and that's when the eel was like, "You're the coolest," you know. Because then I had the water moccasin with Copperhead, I think, right?
Is it September 1st? A lot of new stuff coming out.
Yeah, a lot of it is.
Oh, he didn't spot me right in front of me.
So Cobra found a way to breathe underwater, but the Joes didn't need to.
Mm-hmm.
Last episode, got it.
And Destro's mask there, he still needs the gear to breathe underwater.
That's canon now. He can never be without the mask underwater. Remember that.
Yes.
What? What? How does that work in water?
Magic.
I
Or
don't even know
something.
what's going on right now. Yeah, science.
Science.
You ever notice when there's a door or something that's going to articulate in the scenery, it's a lighter shade of color?
Yeah.
Is that so they
Well,
remember? Hey, this is the thing that opens.
When Slaughter punched through the wall in the last episode, it looked like they forgot to do that and they just cut the background out.
Yeah. Snip, snip, snip. Oh, natural
What,
disaster.
Jello? Is he stuck in a Jello mold?
Yo, Jello.
You don't.
Can only hope to contain him.
Joes are failing all over the globe.
Yep.
Where'd all these sailors come from?
We saw one of the ships got destroyed and two of them came out. So
Yep.
Okay.
Also, if a corpse is left underwater for a couple thousand years, what kind of shape would it be in? I would say it wouldn't exist because the crabs would be.
Perfect shape.
well, the bones will still be there.
DNA in the bones, right?
You're pissing Slaughter off.
Yeah.
The good sergeants put out his fire. Let's.
Uh-oh. I wish I didn't have an open top vehicle.
Maintain the perimeter while I penetrate.
Why can't we get Mindbender a helicopter?
Yeah. Those fangs. Is that what they were?
Yeah.
They like them because they're easier to bail out of.
I totally thought that was a hammer when he carried it over there.
He is pretty ripped.
For a dentist.
Dentist drill. It all works.
Hey, he's a real doctor.
So did we never see how Slaughter got out of that? He just did?
Yeah, just part of his tank's on fire.
Yeah.
Oh.
I assume he just punched the rocks away like he did in that one,
Oh,
that one house.
That makes sense. Rock flies everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And now his vehicle's destroyed. I mean, hope I never see that again. They just showed it destroyed.
Let's just send 4 pilot guys after him and see how that does.
Put him in a Cobra clutch.
There's that. I thought he was going to swing him around like he did with the bats.
Sergeant Slaughter, while I get Sun Tzu's DNA.
How come he didn't flinch?
Gymnastics doesn't work against me, maggots.
Wait, what? What? Oh, because he's spinning him. Got it.
Yes.
Success. Now a farewell gift for Sergeant Slaughter. Not so fast, Mindbender.
Oh, no way.
My guns all loaded. My ammo belt's full. Load up those skeets. It's time to save.
Who's he shooting at? He's inside a plane.
There was a hole.
Oh.
There is now.
Yeah.
Those guys like, I don't know how to fly this thing. I fly the whatever. The Sky Viper guy. China is not going to be pleased.
I'm a hard man to shake, Mindbender. We'll see about. You've been lucky, but here's where your 4-leaf clover turns into poison ivy. I'm still a thorn in your side.
I don't feel like he would be conscious after getting hit a couple times by Slaughter there.
No. Slaughter's head didn't even leave his head either.
And where is he now?
They're in China.
No, I mean
Somewhere
in the
over.
bubble.
If you dig a hole in China real far, do you come back in the United States, though?
Yes.
No.
Slaughter is the only one to succeed.
This looks like one of those devices Duke and Flint described. My hunch is whatever Cobra's.
So what are the Joes now? Like 1 in 5 in this?
Yeah.
I hope they're okay, Roadblock. They used Vlad Tepes' coffin for protection during the cave-in. We'll find out in a sec.
And the tomb was empty, just like Jesus.
Smells bad on the inside.
Yeah.
Beachhead, I want to talk to you about your deodorant. What do you mean? I don't use deodorant. That's what I want to talk to you about.
Is that is Mainframe? Is he a Marine? Was that a Marine symbol on his hat?
I'm not sure. I don't recall which branch Mainframe was in.
I would think Air Force. You know.
I would think whatever has the best bulletin board group.
Yeah. I bet he's a really good moderator of the G.I. Joe fan forums.
He definitely was, yeah. He was starting on 9600 baud back in the day.
Mm-hmm. He wanted his code name to be beep beep.
Yeah. Actually, baud would be a good code name.
Yeah.
Baud.
But I bought the re-release and he was called Data Frame, which was dumb because that doesn't even mean anything.
Cobra Commander's coming down hard on Mindbender here after one failure, even though he's succeeded more times against the Joes than Cobra Commander ever did.
In his whole career. Yeah, Cobra Commander is like the Washington Generals.
So
So if one of the Crimson Guard Commander twins has sex with a lot lizard, does the other one get the STD?
Yes.
And it feels their pain too.
Mm-hmm. Oh, why is it pee? It hurt when I pee.
And
What
why
were
does
you
it
doing?
pee? He wasn't peeing, but he started peeing.
Yeah.
Why does it pee indeed?
This is General Hawk.
So something else I had forgotten. I forgot that in the cartoon they use Slaughter, or want to use Slaughter's DNA in the Serpentor soup. So that was pretty cool. In the comics they use Storm Shadow.
That'd be even cooler. I believe I just saw the G.I. Joes committing a violation of the Geneva Convention by using landmines.
Seems like the cartoon is very against all ninja storylines.
Just like the Ivy League. You can't have all ninjas.
So, John, what font is that?
Oh, I wasn't watching that part. Oh, that
Oh wow,
that's tough. I mean, it actually looks like there's a version of comic font that is like that a lot of comics use. It looks like that writing.
Yeah.
I was like, it's meant to look like handwriting.
Although the G throws me off, so I don't know on this one. If you look at that G.
Yeah.
I will say the kerning on Alexander is different than the kerning on Genghis Khan, though. Look at that.
Yeah.
And Vlad kerning is way big.
This one's the same as all the others, Lifeline.
Yeah.
Let's get the pacifist together to figure out what's going on at the DNA.
Yep.
Yeah, those guys are on lunch.
Why are we always together?
Yeah.
As in deoxyribonucleic acid.
Ah,
And that's
Like
a
in
way
the comic,
for
how they were viciously bullied the pacifist medic.
that's how I learned deoxyribonucleic acid.
The capability to combine those stolen DNA molecules to create an artificial life form.
Isn't one of them just like an EMT though, or are they both doctors?
I think they're both doctors.
Oh.
Maybe. I know Doc definitely is, right? So.
I'd hope so. His
Yeah.
name.
Yeah, but in the military they call the medics doc a lot, even though they're not doctors.
I don't know. I guess I need to pull up the file cards and check that out.
Yeah.
Robot's like, why didn't they clone me? Went with Sergeant Slaughter.
Actually, you're gonna leave every one of them alive.
And vice versa as well.
Yeah.
Oh, they brought the hisses. They brought the big guns.
Why wouldn't you like take all the DNA and then make it like a hiss body? You know what I mean? Half Serpentor on top, half tank on the bottom.
Yeah. Wasn't there an X-Men that was like that, whose body was a tank treads?
It feels like there was like a bad guy at some point.
Wow.
Hey, Roadblock.
Small.
Yeah, driving. Good use of him. He's another heavy machine gunner not doing his job.
Driving Miss Slaughter.
What? I feel like Roadblock's specialty doesn't really work with laser rifles in the cartoon, though.
Well, he almost never has his real gun. He always has
Yeah.
the same generic gun that everyone.
Is that the Ma Deuce?
Yeah, the Mod Dude doesn't work in the cartoon.
Why? Because you can't kill people?
Well, because it has to shoot lasers.
Yeah, but I mean, why can't one guy have bullets?
Because they only want to draw. They do use bullets. Because I remember there was some scheme Cobra did where it's denying G.I. Joe their funding, and they're at the range firing the same gun they always fire, and they hand up their hand, and they only got like 3 bullets to test.
Wait, so bullets are for the shooting range, but lasers are for the battlefield?
No, each bullet has 1 laser beam in it.
One bullet equals 1 laser?
Yeah.
All right, that's science again right there.
Yeah.
It's all a scam by the military-industrial complex.
Look at
Zephyr's
this.
huge.
Mindbender, a great military leader, was tricking the Joes into thinking they had won.
Mm-hmm.
Cobra Commander can never pull that off. I think Mindbender should be the leader.
Yes.
Oh, for sure.
Speaking of pulling it off, Mindbender pulls off that outfit like nobody's business.
Absolutely. I don't know where he finds the time to work out, but he's in good shape.
Yeah, and how does that monocle stay on?
He's at that Antarctic R&R station with the Red Troopers.
Yeah.
To reward your genius, or to have you beheaded for terminal stupidity.
That seems like a bad idea.
Actually, Cobra, that's not a punishment.
So how do they know which Crimson Guard are with which leader?
You walk out of the room, and whoever follows you, those are the ones.
Oh, so you can just switch?
Yeah, but they're paid by the twins, so they know where their bread's buttered. Oh, it stopped in its tracks.
Stopped in midair. That was good.
By the way, Duke's been worthless this whole mission.
Yeah.
Wait, it's a trick, General. She wasn't hit at all. We've been had by.
Where's Scarlet been, by the way? Where's
dead.
Scarlet, Lady J? Where's all that?
Where's all the ladies?
Cover Girl with the Wolverine thing?
Wolverine would be pretty useful.
Yeah.
They should know that the Cobras are very good with VTOL aircraft.
Slaughter looks like when you put the wrong figure in a different toy line vehicle.
Yeah.
It's
it doesn't fit right.
Big for that.
You put He-Man on like
we try to mix McFarlane figures with Marvel figures and they're too big.
Yeah.
Again,
he said maggot, not what I thought he said.
He said maggot, actually.
Oh.
You clowns don't know it, but you're in big trouble.
You're in big trouble, mister.
Such a sense of humor, Sergeant Slaughter. You will be a superb addition to my collection of DNA.
What?
He's like, you're going to have to get that DNA the hard way.
Slaughter, we found the crusty towel under your bed.
It's filled with maggots. Yeah, where's Scrap Iron been?
Trevor's like, that's Sergeant Slaughter. I can't.
I don't know if you've been paying attention, but
Here's the thing. There's some, like, this has so many characters, but some of the classics aren't in here at all. Like, Major Blood and Firefly, nowhere to be found.
Like, Scrap Iron's going like, all right, I'll take them out. Hold on, let me set up my tripod.
Yeah.
In this box full of missiles.
Dr. Mindbender's mad dream of genetic engineering is thwarted by treachery within his
spoiler.
I know.
Dr. Mindbender pursues his goal of creating the
That's how computers work.
All in the next exciting episode of Arise, Serpentor, Arise.
Oh, they made Mumra.
Rise from your grave.
G.I. Joe will return after these
Altered
messages.
Beast.
Oh, wait,
bonus!
Is this part of the storyline?
Pork chop sandwiches.
They need child DNA as well.
Oh, y'all want a nice football song?
Listen to your friend Chris. Those gates are
Chris.
a warning to let you know that it's not safe to cross.
Chris is 42 years old.
I have to stay 100 feet from you,
Chris has Benjamin Button disease, it looks like.
Oh, so that is part 3 of Arise, Serpentor, Arise.
It said voice actors Bob Remus on there. You know who that is?
I do.
Anyone else?
No.
Brian?
Sergeant Slaughter.
That's right.
Oh, it's his real name?
Yeah.
It was the first one on the list, voice actor.
I was going to ask you who was doing his voice because it sounded good.
It is.
Yeah, wow. That's
yeah. So he essentially, to take on the G.I. Joe role and all that stuff, he got in a fight with Vince over it. So he had to leave wrestling because of the toy. He couldn't have a toy contract with wrestling and G.I. Joe. So he actually split from wrestling during this era to do the G.I. Joe.
Well, it was weird. Valdrick, we talked about this a week ago, but we were talking about how Sergeant Slaughter, the real guy, would pop up in promos for the cartoon.
Yeah.
But as a kid, I didn't know, I knew oh, he's a wrestler, but he's not a wrestler that I knew of because he wasn't in WWF at the time. I think he was in AWA, and probably due to, like Brian was saying about fighting with Vince and all that. So it was one of those weird moments as a kid where it was like, there is my friends said there were other wrestlers. I didn't know about other wrestlers. I didn't know about these wrestlers, but I think he's one of the other wrestlers. And then when he finally joined WWF again, I'm like, oh, I know this guy. He wasn't new anymore to me because it was like, yeah, he's from the cartoon.
And Slaughter did his heel turn way late, right? Because he did a heel turn.
Well, it was a weird thing. He came back in, and it was like right when the Gulf War started.
Gulf War, 91.
And so Vince had the bright idea to make the real American hero be a anti-American character.
But the way it was presented to Sarge, like Vince had this great idea and came to him and was like, "Oh, we're going to have you fight Hogan," and Sarge was like, "Well, how are you going to turn Hogan into a bad guy?" It's like, "Oh no, we're not. Here's what we're going to do."
That's when you know that you're not the number one.
Well, at that moment, it's do you want the paycheck or not? Because I mean, it's main eventer and all.
It's this, or you're going to go to action figure conventions for the rest of your life.
Do you remember when it was when Vince had the idea of actually owning the image, the character of the wrestler?
I don't know.
I wonder if
like their name and likeness rights.
Yeah, exactly. Even though they're independent contractors.
Mm-hmm. He's a dirty man.
Yeah. I'm surprised they didn't change it to like, instead of Sergeant Slaughter, he's like General Botter. Like something just a little off.
General Mayhem.
General Mayhem, right.
All right, so part 3 of Arise Serpentor Arise. Cobra continues to win and collect DNA samples, and they're going to mix, or hope to mix, Sergeant Slaughter into their Serpentors. Or I guess, we haven't even called him Serpentor yet. He's just a super leader of Cobra. So has anybody watched ahead to parts 4 or 5 yet?
No, because we follow orders.
35 years ago, I did.
Do you have any predictions on how this ends? I mean,
I know how it ends.
The opening of the show, I feel like, tells us where this is going. But
well, so did they ever get anything from Slaughter, even a part of little something, or is it, that we don't know?
Yeah,
we know Serpentor exists, but we don't know if he's got a little Slaughter on him though.
Well, in the very end, where it's like watching tomorrow's episode or whatever, they do have those 2 little capsules that they drop in the Slaughter labeled DNA container, but we all right. Do we want to give out some flag points on this episode?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's start with Valdrick.
I'm gonna go 3.5. The first 2 were good, and this one it's kind of in a lull, but I'm guessing it's so it can rise again on 4 and 5.
It can rise.
Yeah.
Brian, what do you think?
I'm going to go 4 just because I think I would give it slightly less than the last episode, but not enough to bump it a point. So,
Johnny,
much like Valdrick, I'm going to go a little lower. I'm actually going to go 3, and it was okay, but in a 5-part series, I think the one in the middle should be the most amount of action, but it was way less going on than in the second episode.
You feel like this could have been a 3-parter?
Oh yeah,
possibly, but I mean, I do appreciate it being maybe a 4-parter. I think would be more natural, but having it longer and being able to focus on so many different.
Well, you could. I mean, you could go the other way. You could have made this an even more parter. You could have had
each episode would be a guy.
Right, one of the guys they were trying to get right. It could have been a long, drawn out thing,
and like make it have like good historical information about the character, and maybe explain why. Yes, we know this character's body isn't still around, but
they could have made it so good where in school they told you as homework you had to go watch GI Joe. How cool would that have been?
That would have been pretty awesome.
It'd be like question: who's buried in Grant's tomb? Nobody, because GI Joe and Cobra fought over the body, and Cobra got it.
Yeah.
Serpentor.
Grant's DNA is no longer there.
Yeah.
Okay, that's correct.
I'm going to go with Valdrick and give this one 3.5. The reason going a little bit lower, I feel like this kind of had like a lot of the same stuff as the previous episode. Like,
it almost seemed like identical. You can mix.
Yeah, we've already done this. Like, let's move the story forward a little bit. But I'm still looking forward to part 4 and 5 and seeing how all this comes together and how we get Serpentor.
And will he actually be an improvement in leadership?
I mean,
and will he arise, arise? We don't know.
Indeed.
Will he arise twice?
Well, thank you guys for joining me and watching some cartoons, and I hope you will come back next week and watch part 4. But
like and subscribe, smash it.
Go watch more videos of us watching videos.
So long from Brian. Until next time, same Brian time, same Brian channel.